Welcome, everyone. My name is Susan Allan, and I am so thrilled to welcome you to today's special Lifewave event with two spectacular people. One is Amy Homsey, and Amy Homsey is the founder of Holistic Health IQ, and for the last 25 years, she's been working with clients, showing them and introducing them to remarkable alternative health solutions to eliminate their suffering, eliminate their pain. And she found Lifewave patches, and it is her absolute favorite product. So welcome, Amy.
Thank you so much, Susan. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
So thrilled, really, really thrilled. And today, as always, I'm so excited. We always have Marci Preble. And Marci is an enormously successful distributor in Lifewave. And Marci has 15,000 distributors. And Amy Homsey has 6,000 Lifewave distributors. So we're talking about two presidential directors who are amazingly successful. They know all about the products. They know all about how to help people, and that's what you can learn today. So welcome, welcome. Welcome, Marci.
So good to be here. Thank you for having me as always.
Okay, so Amy, our first question is about your mom. So I know that your mom suffers with epilepsy, and with the Lifewave patches, everything started to shift. Could you tell us about it, please?
Yes, I would love to. My mom is 80 years old, and she's had epilepsy for actually 63 years. And it's a neurological disorder. But what people didn't understand is, for example, Susan, if she walked into my home with the newer TVs, she could not look at the TV with all the colors and the vibrations. It would actually give her a headache, and a lot of times induce or bring on a seizure. She could also not look at a computer screen. So I got her on the X49, also got her on the Eon for inflammation. And so she's been living with me for a while now, about 5 months. And so I was consistent with her. And one day, my husband's in the living room watching the baseball game. My mom likes baseball, but she would actually sit there and just close her eyes and listen, right? So one day, out of the blue, she goes, "That was a really good play." And I went, "What?" And I looked over at her, and she was actually watching the television. Okay, she's watching it every day now. And it doesn't make her sick. And this past Sunday, she actually watched my laptop screen to watch a pastor or minister of hers for, do his sermon. And she was sitting there like this, watching the screen. So I am blown away by that. Again, she has had seizures since she was 18 years old and could not handle any kind of technology. Even my wireless router, the internet, she couldn't even handle that for years. And now she's staying with me, and being a business owner, I have it on all the time. And that does not seem to be affecting her either.
That is an absolute miracle. And when it's your own mother, my goodness, when it's your mother, it changes everything. So I know that the next thing you really wanted me to ask you is why you know that Lifewave patches are unlike anything you have ever learned about or recommended before. Tell us.
Yes. I mean, oh my gosh, Susan, there's so many reasons, but I'm just so passionate about this product, and having my own health challenges over the years and studying natural health and working with people. I've seen everything that comes down the pike, everything, right? And people contact me all the time, and I've tried different things, but nothing works as effectively, but as simplistically. Okay. And those two things just blew my mind. When I read about the technology, it made sense to me. And I'm not a very analytical person, but it just made common sense to me. Right. But it's so simplistic. anyone can do this. So we're not talking about swallowing pills and, taste or mixing anything or anything invasive, that people are tired of all that, right? Taking all that stuff. If you could wear a Band-Aid, you can wear this product. But again, I say this all the time. It is the most simplistic natural health product I've ever witnessed in my life, but yet the most effective. I mean, the stories we hear every single day are mind-blowing.
Yeah. And I know that I used to have brain fog. You used to have brain fog. I don't know, Marci, did you ever have brain fog?
Yes, I did.
Okay, we all need buttons, right? We used to have brain fog, but we're really present now. So, Amy, would you talk about how that has been such an amazing shift for you, please?
The brain fog that's been lifted is actually my biggest story about me. I mean, I have several things that have happened, obviously, in 2 years, but having fibromyalgia for 30 years, you do have brain fog, especially first thing in the morning. Like, I mean, I used to be like, oh my God, don't talk to me, leave me alone for like an hour. I had to function, I had to focus. But with the X39, I could wake up more quickly. I'm more alert, upon rising, and I get to my tasks right away. So that has been a huge shift for me. I'm also a little ADD, but I'm more laser focused. But the mental clarity, Susan, has been huge. And I say this all the time, and it's not a joke, but my math skills have actually improved. It's like my brain fires quicker, it's crisper, I remember things. My creative mind is on overdrive. I mean, seriously, in 2 years of being with Lifewave and using these patches, I've changed my house like 3 times. My creative juices are just flowing. My marketing skill, everything is just, I don't know, it's like I'm 20, 30 years younger mentally.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Marci, if you would now tell us about the X39, the Eon, and also the Nirvana, because I want to give a huge testimonial that I just received in a text today about Nirvana after you do.
I would be happy to. Wow. So I too am mentally clear. And I have to say, what's been happening to me lately is my skin is so soft and it glows. Like, I literally look like I've had a facelift, and I'm 55 and I haven't. Okay. Like, I can't stop touching my face. It's a good problem to have. And I'm not even kidding you. Right. So anyway, let me tell you what this technology is. It's called X39, and it is the stem cell activation patch. And when you open it up, I believe Amy was talking about if you can put on a Band-Aid, you can put this technology on. And that's because it's sticky like a Band-Aid. You literally stick it on, right? Can you imagine having a health technology that you just stick on and it works? Right? That's what this is. So the way the technology works, the white stuff in the middle is actually organic crystal. And when it hits the heat or infrared light that comes off of your skin, it reflects back a light wave. And that light wave elevates a peptide called GHK copper peptide. And if you want to research that, it's pretty amazing. You can do that by going to startx39.com. There's this little tab called GHK. It's full of information. But one of the things that this peptide does is it acts as a telephone to your stem cells. And it like calls them up and says, hey, stem cells, it's time to get marching again. It's time to make more of you again. And it's time to reset you to a younger, healthier state. And your stem cells say, thanks for the call. You haven't talked to us in a long time. Because at age 30, the army has stopped by 50%. By age 60, it's pretty much all stopped marching. And why is it necessary for the army to march? Well, Dr. Rhonda Donahue explained it to me 2.5 years ago, and I will explain it back. She says stem cells are the only cell in your body that are changeable. Can you believe that we have in our body cells that can change into whatever you need for repair? That is what a stem cell is. Now, let's take ourselves back to when we were 18, 20, 25. Do you remember then? Your stem cells were working. You had no gray. You had no wrinkles. You had the itty bitty waist, even though you ate whatever you want. You had, you didn't really get sick, and your injuries lasted all of a day. That's because the army was marching and turning into whatever cell you needed for repair. Now, can you imagine if you can do that again at 55? Can you imagine if you have the stem cell activity of youth happening again? I mean, look at your hair, Susan. Your hair's double the volume. That's because your stem cells are marching. And it's just true, okay? Just like when you go out into the sun and the sun creates vitamin D in your body, this is what this patch does. It's wearable light technology. We're using light to make things happen in the body. It's actually called photobiomodulation. This is just wearable light. And no, you do not need the sun to hit it, because guess what? We are little suns. We have a low-grade infrared light coming off of this. You know that's true because we all have a temperature. Or if you talk to anybody in the military, they'll tell you that that's what night vision does. Those goggles show the light. Okay, so now we know that that happens. So that is the X39 stem cell activation patch. I believe Susan also asked me to talk about Alavita. This, other than X39, is right in there as one of my personal favorites. And you know where you wear it? Right between the eyebrows. It's in the pineal gland. And what this does is it tells your body to reduce something called oxidative stress in 5 minutes. Amy would be able to tell you what this is, but I will do my best. Oxidative stress is free radical damage that destroys every cell of your body. Oxidative stress is caused by the water you drink, the food you eat, all the dirty toxins. Shoot, it's even caused by your own body's energy production. The exhaust, so to speak, is free radical damage or oxidative stress. Can you imagine if you reduce it all in 5 minutes just by putting this on your key gland, your pineal gland? Pretty amazing. I actually wear mine at night and sleep with it because it looks kind of funny wearing it during the day. But once in a while I bet Amy's worn it during the day, not. So anyway, if you guys knew Amy, she's much more like buttoned up, and Marci probably would end up wearing it. So anyway, so let's talk about what David Schmidt, the owner, inventor, and CEO, says about this. He says he did an energy scan. And by the way, that the talk that he did on Alavita, shoot, any of David Schmidt's talks can be found by going to YouTube, search Lifewave Health, and then search David Schmidt and Alavita, David Schmidt and X39. So I did a search on Alavita because I was interested in it. And in the talk, he explains how in 5 minutes, the energy reading of someone went from a dark purple with holes in it to a beautiful turquoise in 5 minutes. I mean, literally, I think that's probably where he got the color of the package. Like literally, the light signature of this person was turquoise. So we, without oxidative stress, our light signature is beautiful turquoise. I thought that was cool. So I wear that. And I also use the Alavita skincare set. It's a day and night cream. And I wear that every day and night. And I also believe it's one of the reasons my skin is so soft. It literally has these algae oil, which is the same oil that's in our skin. So it goes in perfectly. And it has milk peptide and it has fat soluble vitamin C in it, which help to create collagen. So the two collagen creators are X39 and Alavita. So if you want beautiful skin, what would be the patches? X39, Alavita with the day and night cream. And you asked me to talk about one other patch?
Well, the Eon, and then later on, we'll have you do the Nirvanas.
Oh, okay. And so Eon, thank you for reminding me, stops inflammation. It actually, increases a peptide in the liver that stops inflammation. And you know how David heard about this? He was at Suzanne Summers' house, and he was talking to a famous scientist who actually does science on natural cancer remedies. And he told David, do you know why the queen bees live 50% longer than the worker bees? And David said, no, why? And he said, it's the queen bee jelly peptide. And it allows them to live 50% longer. And guess what's in our liver? The same peptide as what's in the queen bee jelly. Eon activates that. This, because it reduces inflammation, it helps eat the inflammation that tries to eat the activated stem cells. So David says when you wear them together, you turbocharge your X39. It's also what I like to call the gentle giant. It's gentle, it's like lavender. And if you do need to be put into rest and digest, it's a wonderful evening patch as well.
Beautiful. Thank you so, so much. And, you know, Marci, I started using the patches and I didn't even know what was an Eon. And it turned out since 1994, I've been using SOD, which is what the Eon patches. The reason that I had immediate elimination of my brain fog in 24 hours, even at my age, and I'm much older than you and Amy, is because I was using the equivalent of the Eon patch every single day since 1994.
Well, and let me explain that.
Incredible.
Oxidative stress is the free radical damage. We have a pathway in our system called SOD, superoxide dismutase. It's really the master antioxidant in our body. Okay, that's what takes care of free radicals and oxidative stress. Eon activates SOD. That's what she's talking about. And I didn't really clarify that, but it's a big deal.
It is a huge deal. It is a huge deal. And well, Amy, you're going to tell us about your patient, Frank. And Frank was in the military, and so many people in the military were tragically poisoned with Agent Orange. And so that's, of course, why you're going to be talking about Eon, detoxification, etc. And I know that Frank also had knee injury, and he also had vision. And I think you're even going to talk about hair growth. So tell us about Frank.
Absolutely. And I just want to second what Marci said. I love the Eon patch. I wear mine every single night. And I'm 56 and I love the Alavita as well. So yes, Frank is an incredible man. He actually just got started March 5th with the X39. And then he also started the Eon. Frank had bad back pain as well as knee pain. He didn't have any energy. He would sleep really late and wouldn't go out until later in the day because he just didn't have the energy to function. He also had a floater in his eye for 15 years. Wow. 15 years. Okay. So he's been on the patch for about 6 weeks. His back pain is gone. His knee pain is gone. He hardly walked, right? He couldn't move because he was in pain. And then when you're in pain, what happens? It zaps your energy and then you get depressed. So he just told me yesterday, you know, he would walk just a little bit, but now he's walking 4,000 steps a day. 4,000 steps a day. He's 71. His floater's gone. His back pain's gone. His knee pain's gone. He is growing more hair. His skin looks better. It's amazing when we do these Zoom calls, we see everyone, right? And every week and every month, everyone looks younger and younger and younger. Also, Frank had cancer on his face, and they took out, I believe, part of his jaw and a lot of skin on his face. And he had a lot of radiation treatments, Susan, and it dried up the sockets and the salivary, glands. So his mouth, he's had dry mouth for years because of the radiation. Well, now with the X39 and the Eon, he has moisture in his mouth again. And Frank, and he won't mind me telling you this, he has a heart of gold. He was in such bad shape, ladies, he actually wanted to die. He was praying to God, take me, take me. And now he has purpose and he has his life back. And Frank is out there every single day talking to people. He'll talk to a stranger at Walmart, at the grocery store, because this product changed his life. So yeah, I'm very excited about Frank. I'm very excited.
That's so beautiful. And, you know, most of us know soldiers, former soldiers.
Frank is on, by the way.
Sorry?
Okay.
Frank
Thanks.
is on the call, by the way.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
Thank you. So, Jeff, just make sure that all our guests are
Thank
muted.
you. I enjoyed that.
Jeff, if you could make sure that all our guests are muted, please, so that we can make sure that Amy can answer all of our questions. That would be great. Okay, so Amy, my next question for you is if you would please tell us about Sammy the cat. I know that in the past, we have so many of us who love animals, who are so devoted to animals, and that Sammy is 18 and is having a new, well, you know, cats have 9 lives, so Sammy's having the 10th life, right?
Yes. Sammy's owner, Kathy, out in Las Vegas, is an amazing person. She has her own story, but Sammy's on auto ship. So Sammy's on his own auto ship. So Sammy started December 9th of 2021. Sammy is 18 years old, was very lethargic, very scrawny, lost a lot of his fur. Kathy and her husband, Chris, are the owners of Sammy. A lot of their friends thought they were going to have to, you know, put Sammy down because he didn't have a lot of quality of life. So Sammy got started on the X39 on December 9th, and then Kathy introduced him to X49. So during the day, Mr. Sammy gets X39 and X49 on his collar. In the evening, he gets Alavita and Eon. And here's what's happened in a short period of time. And Kathy has sent me several videos. So no longer is Sammy lethargic. He's running and jumping like a kitten. Okay, an 18-year-old cat is now acting spry like a kitten. Fur has grown in. He's gained weight. All right. He no longer appears to have dementia. Okay, we're talking an 18-year-old cat that they actually thought about putting to sleep. So let me just look at my notes to make sure. So no longer lethargic, no longer scrawny, fur has grown in beautifully, dementia gone, walks around like there's no arthritis pain. So Sammy had pain. He was riddled with arthritis, and now he's running and jumping and acts like there's no pain whatsoever. And I wish I could share this, but Kathy showed me, sent me a photo, and I don't know if you can see this. She patches up their collars, a day collar and a night collar, and puts it on her cat and her dog. So I'm going to be talking about her dog next. So it's just amazing, the results, because guess what? Animals have stem cells too. Animals have stem cells too, but she has her system down, and Kathy is ecstatic that she has her animals back.
Oh, I love that story. I love that story. And on my YouTube channel, there's a wonderful video of one of my friend's dogs who couldn't run. I mean, couldn't run. He had a horrible spinal diagnosis, and the vet had no solutions. And after just a few days, and you'll see it if you go to the YouTube channel, I'll give you the address at the end of the show, you can see the dog running around and just an entirely different life. You know, or I won't say an entirely different life. He's living his life again. So it's just beautiful. Thank you so much.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it is truly miraculous. Mind-blowing. Okay, Marci, we want to hear about more patches. Why don't you tell us about the Nirvana first? And then if you would tell us about the Carnosine, which I think is so important because as an older person using the Carnosine, which makes a big difference for older brains, I want to make sure that everybody who watches knows about that one too.
Sure. So I have a funny story about Nirvana. I hope it's okay if I share it and I don't offend anyone. I have permission on YouTube to say my story. Okay, just checking. So here's the Nirvana story. I'm on Zoom with my girlfriend, and she has a patch right here, like right on her chest, right? And she was so happy that day. And I said, Gail, what's wrong with you? You're so happy today. She goes, oh, Marci, I have my anti-bitch patch on. I said, what? And if you guys knew my friend, you would know that that is sometimes a problem, right? In a nice way. And I know you women know what I'm talking about. You men that have wives know what we're talking about. So I looked at her and I said, which one? I knew, but I said, what? She goes, it's Nirvana. And I take the 2 seaweed pills that go with it. I said, I gotta go get me some of that because I want to be like you. Because let's be honest, we're working really hard. And sometimes when you work really hard, you get more anxiety and you get grouchy, you know? And so what Nirvana does is it activates your neurotransmitters. It activates serotonin, dopamine, endorphins, everything that makes you happy. Well, then David came out with these little Nirvana pills. They're wonderful. You take 2 in the morning. So I wear my Nirvana during the day and I take my 2 pills in the morning. And why the pills work so well is because they're made out of seaweed. So guess what seaweed is? It's the polar of all toxins, and it holds it and it doesn't ever release. Did you know seaweed in the ocean cleans our oceans and it never releases the toxins? It's a holder. So then you can eliminate the toxins. And I believe we're so toxic that it runs up and down our nervous system into our brain. And so, of course, together, it's wonderful. So I have to say, I told this story at our Arizona event last Saturday, and I had my Nirvana sleeve and my pills. And I said, anybody that wants to try it, come on up. Literally, it's all gone. The pill, everybody's putting their hand out. Give me the 2 pills. Put that patch on me. So anyway, I have to order some more for myself personally, but it has been so fun. And Dr. Stacy did some more research because David researches everything. And she went and looked at the YouTube Lifewave Health, David Schmidt Nirvana. And one of the videos talks about how you can bliss the pain away. So where we have IceWave, which takes care of pain through the connective tissue, you put the brown on the pain spot, the white 3 inches away, that will take pain out of the connective tissue. I like to say it breaks the connection of pain. Nirvana in 6 weeks will get rid of pain full body by blissing it away through the brain. And why that's important is that there are so many people on pain medicine right now, Oxycontin, some serious stuff. Nirvana can help those folks get off of it. Actually, any addictions, food, alcohol, drugs, pain pills, Nirvana is a good choice for helping pull people off of addiction. So it is really important.
And, before you explain about carnosine, I received a text today, just this morning, from a client who, and, in my heart space coaching, I work with people, families, whatever. It's about communicating in a peaceful, motivating way to create peace. It could be any issue. And this one client of mine who uses the patches has been having a big problem at home, a big, big problem. It would be a problem for any of me, you, trust me on that. And I got this text and she started using the Nirvana patches and the Nirvana tablets. And she said, for the last few days, I have had no problems with my child. I sat down and talked to my child about this. Now, I want to tell you, I have never received a text like that from her. And she's a good friend. I've known her for a long time. And what's made the big difference in allowing her to use the skills I teach, to actually practice what I preach, if you will, is using the Nirvana patches and the Nirvana tablets have made all the difference.
Yeah, I think Nirvana, it allows you to have a happy unattachment. And anxiety and fear cause unhealthy attachment. And so I do. It makes sense that how therapists could use that to help move people through situations. I totally see that, Susan. Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're so grateful, right? All of us. We're just so grateful to David, the genius inventor. Okay, Marci, tell us, please, about carnosine. And for me, I want you to really focus on what it does for the brain, because for the aging brain, it is miraculous.
Absolutely. And because you're asking brain, I'm going to tell you the two brain patches. The first is carnosine. David talks about carnosine in a great way. David researches animals that live a long time to figure out why. Turns out clams and lobsters live to 250 years. And it's because their immune systems get stronger as they age and ours get weaker. Our organs get weaker. Our heart gets weaker. Our brain gets weaker. And that has to do with something called the telomeres on your DNA. Telomeres, the longer your telomeres are on your DNA, let's call it the lady fingers, the longer you live. As they shrink down and stub to nothing, you die. Carnosine helps build the telomeres back. It's a wonderful patch for longevity. It also specifically focuses on the brain and the heart. The other patch that is brain and heart focused is called our stem cell X49. It's a stem cell patch like X39, only it is activated by the daughter peptide AHK. And that peptide, it turns out that when you activate the AHK, it goes right in to help the brain, blood pressure, and the heart, particularly with ALS and Alzheimer's, actually. And so it's a super great patch. It also helps with building lean muscle mass, which of course is one of the reasons that ALS is a problem. It's a nerve communication to the muscle that weakens the muscle. So it makes sense with the muscle support that it would support that particular issue. And it's super good for 5G protection and growing bones. Oh, and it burns fat. It will give you the hot body. So X49 is about the brain and the body. But, I was talking to Charity, who also runs a wellness center. And she said when she talks to her clients that have brain issues, she's double patching them with X49 and carnosine. And I thought that was interesting. Mm-hmm.
And I'm the poster girl because within days of using the X39 and the Eon, because in those days we didn't have the X49, of course I use it, but even the X39 and the Eon, my brain came back to a level that it had never been before. Because Amy, you were saying you're better at math. I am too. It's remarkable. And I used to have to be so hyper-focused to do any of the things that had to do with numbers, because I'm a visionary, I'm a communicator, the other side of the brain. But with these patches, and particularly with carnosine, Marci, I'm able to use my brain as I need it to be used whenever I need it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you. And now, Amy, I know that you're going to tell us about a puppy. Well, he's a puppy again, but he's a dog. He's 8 years old. And tell us about Josie.
Yes, Josie is the sibling of Sammy. only he's a dog. But he's 8.5 years young. He had 2 knee surgeries and just wasn't as active. Was lethargic and all that. So now he's running and acting spry like a puppy. But the other thing that Kathy told me is that the fur just smells fresher. Like in between baths with the dogs, they get that smell. Well, she said the fur is fresher and cleaner, longer. But Josie, who had 2 knee surgeries, is now running and jumping and acting like a young puppy again. So 2 animals in the same household, 2 different breeds, totally cat and a dog, different ages, and they've both got remarkable results. And she puts it on his collar. She just puts the patches on the collar, puts tape, And again, Josie has a daytime caller with the X39 and the X49. And then in the evening, he has Alavita and Eon.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. And, you know, Marci, since we're talking a lot about older pets and, of course, older people, maybe, Marci, you want to talk about glutathione today as well as the other detox.
I just wanted, because we talk so much about immune system and detox and chemicals and staying young. And, you know, glutathione is so important. And I like to say that do you remember how we talked about SOD being one of the most important pathways for getting rid of free radicals and oxidative stress? And I like to say SOD, your pathway, is like a really big antioxidant, right? Well, the other really big antioxidant in your body that's a pathway is glutathione. And glutathione does two things as a pathway. It is your master detoxification pathway and your other antioxidant pathway. And what do I mean by that? Well, glutathione will be the puller of all yuck, fungus, mold, virus, toxins, metals, Roundup, you name it. Glutathione is gonna pull it out of your nervous system, right out of your spinal cord and out your probably through your skin. You could also detoxify it out through elimination, or even sometimes a little headache, like get it out through the brain, because we are pretty toxic. Glutathione also is your other master antioxidant pathway. So remember how we were talking about those free radicals destroying all the cells in your body? Glutathione stops that. So, and I like to say that glutathione, you know, where Eon is the gentle giant, Amy was talking about how she sleeps with it at night. Glutathione, it's no joke. It's gonna take the stuff and pull it out. And I would say, if you were talking about the patches that are really good for immune system support, it would be Eon, glutathione, Alavita, and X49. Like, if you want to bust open your immune system, these would be a good combination.
Beautiful. You know, I use all of them, but I'm making a note for the people that don't. So repeat it again, Marci, the four.
The four patches that are super good to boost the immune system would be X39, glutathione, Alavita, and Eon. Those are gonna be, you know, if you got a weak immune system and you want to just give it a lot of support, those four patches are gonna support that immune system big time.
Beautiful. You know, thank you. And for anybody who doesn't know, I swim 84 laps a day, you know, 6 days a week. I work the rest of the time, so I don't come home and go to sleep. You know, I work before I get in the pool. I swim 84 laps, then I work some more, and I'm, you know, I'm up, I'm functioning. I have an incredible life, and I'm a lot older than these two ladies and feeling fantastic. And boy, when I look at people who, and I know their age, and I know they're my age, they look like they're my, I don't know, older sisters, to be nice, but, you know, some of them actually look like they could be my mothers, which is really frightening, right? Not for me, but, you know, for them. It's amazing what, you know, these patches do for me. And I use all four of the immune system patches. I use 3 of them every day, and I use the glutathione every other day. And it's amazing. And I use other patches. I use Silent Nights because I used to have a lot of trouble sleeping, problem gone, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So, Amy, tell us about Kathy. Marci was talking about her skin. My skin is unrecognizable, and I know that's what's happened with your patient, Kathy.
Yes, and it's funny because right before we got on the show, Susan, Marci was saying about her skin looking 25 years younger, right? That's exactly what Kathy told me. Just all of her whole body is just smoother and silkier. And she's like, oh my God, it's like I'm 25 years younger. And Kathy, by the way, is the owner of Sammy and Josie, the cat and the dog. So the whole household has gotten results, even her husband, Chris. But Kathy's a beautiful woman, inside and out, but she looks amazing. And I forgot to mention that Sammy and Josie live in a 2-story home, okay? The cat and the dog. Prior to December 9th, prior to X39 and the other patches, neither one of them could walk up the stairs. And now they are running up the stairs. So again, that whole household, husband and wife, cat and dog, all got incredible results on these amazing products. Again, in 30 years of natural health, I've never seen anything like this. The results are just, I mean, every day I'm like picking my jaw up off the ground. I mean, I hear stories and people call us and they're crying. Oh my God, I got my life back. Thank you so much for sharing this with me. We hear stories every single day and it makes you so happy. This is so rewarding and I'm just so proud and so blessed to be part of this.
And I know Marci and Amy and me, one of the great, great joys is being able to help people have completely different lives, transformed lives in every way, from every cell in their brain, every cell in their body, eliminating all these symptoms. I mean, we could do a 12-hour show just on eliminated symptoms. And I don't mean individuals with the same symptoms that are gone. I mean, listing all the thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of symptoms that I know are gone for me, gone for the people that I've told about it, and each of you. And the list goes on and on, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's simply mind-boggling.
It's so beautiful. So now tell us about Joe, Amy, who's 59 and he loves to play hockey. Tell us about him.
Yeah, he's an interesting character. He's 59, loves hockey. He works 70 hours a week, by the way. And when we met him, he had a pulled hamstring. So he couldn't play hockey, which is his love, right? His passion. So typically a hamstring pull, especially at his age, can take 8 to 12 weeks before he would get on the ice because he's had it happen in the past, right? So after he got on the X39 and the Eon, he was on the ice in 2.5 weeks. So versus 8 to 12 weeks, he was on the ice in 2.5 weeks. And again, he works 70 hours a week. His energy is off the charts. He is sleeping so much better. He never slept well almost his whole entire life. So now he's going into that deep sleep, has the energy, playing hockey a few times a week and working 70 hours at 59. He also did something with his knee, had an injury with his knee, and that also healed weeks ahead of time. You know, and all the other hockey players were just astonished. So now Joe has them on the patches as well. So
could do me a big favor, Amy, if you would email me that information, because I'm being introduced in about a week to a huge group of ice skating coaches.
Perfect.
Because
I will.
One of the ice skaters is a dear friend of mine, uses the patches, is seeing miracles. So we've been talking about this for many months, and now I'm going to be introduced to all these ice skating coaches. So to be so specific, we're not just talking about generically everybody's pain goes away. You're talking about specifically getting back on the ice. So that's thrilling.
I'll be happy to do that for you. I'll send it to you.
Thank you. Because I don't even want to wait until this show is on YouTube. It will be on YouTube in about 10 days, thanks to dear Jeff, who does all of our video tech. So, Marci, is there any last thing? And then Amy, is there any last thing? We have just like 3 more minutes.
You know, I would just say, if you are new listening, don't be afraid to give this new technology a try. It is life-changing. And some people notice something right away. A day, 2 days, 5 days, but sometimes it takes 30, 60, or 90 days. But I promise you, you will not be disappointed. For myself personally, I literally am watching myself get younger and younger. It's like it has a cumulative effect the more we wear it. I've been on this now for 2.5 years, and I no vain, I don't know if that's the right word, but what I'm trying to say is I looked at pictures of me 10 years ago, and I look better today. Like, it's a little bizarre, and I can't really put anything to it because it should not be happening other than these dark patches. And that's what I will leave you with.
Thank you, Marci, and it's always a joy to see you. I'm always so thrilled. I see your beautiful, shiny face once a month. You know, we do these events once a month, always the second Thursday. We do it at 1 p.m. Pacific and various times around the globe. So thank you, Marci.
Mm-hmm.
And Amy, do you have something you'd like to add in like a minute and a half?
Sure. Folks, if you are watching for the first time, you have nothing to lose. You have zero risk. We have a 30-day money-back guarantee. And what we offer is hope. We offer hope. People need hope today. Okay, we're talking about non-invasive, non-transdermal, simplistic, putting a patch on, let it do its magic, go about your day. You don't have to think about it. What if it works? What if it works? And I will tell you, at 56, on my best days, I literally feel 20 years younger. Okay, I've had 5 car accidents. I have herniations. I have fibromyalgia. I literally feel 20 years younger. We give people hope. We have something that no one else has, guys. You can't get it except for here. We have 94 patents, 0 competition, the best community I've ever seen in this industry. And you have people with heart that want to help you. You have nothing to lose. Get back to the person who got you on this call.
Beautiful, Amy. And it is a joy to have you with us again. Thank you so much. You have always such a joyous approach and so much remarkable information that I'm so happy, really. And as Amy just said, we don't take questions, by the way. We don't take questions during these Zoom calls. I know that they do take questions in a lot of other Lifewave Zoom calls, but not ours. And so ask the person who told you about this Zoom call. Ask the person who told you about Lifewave. That's what we all do. This is a company that is about friends telling friends, and family telling each other, coworkers, neighbors, etc. And that's what makes it such a joy. So for 26 of our recorded calls with Marci and myself, and we have another one with Amy and various incredible guests, please go to youtube.com and /Susan Allan, Allan 2001. And next month, we're going to have a very popular guest as well. Dr. John Harmon will be back with us. So thank you, everybody, so much. And again, make sure you ask your friend or family member who told you about this. And I wouldn't give up these patches for anything. So thank you for watching, everybody.